just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I am your host, Patricia Baker, and I am here with my very talented co-host, numerologist, PK. PK, how are you today?
I am doing absolutely fabulously.
I love hearing that. I love it. You know what I was doing today?
What?
I was pulling garlic out of my garden.
Oh, please.
I have like 100, really, I'm like a country girl at heart. I have 100 head of garlic drying now. I'm so proud of myself. Let me tell you what, it was a lot of work, too.
I bet it was. Have you been dipped to get the smell off, though?
Oh, yeah. It's not too, really, garlic smells kind of mild until it's dried.
True.
So it was a blast. I love seeing those things coming right out of the ground and knowing I'm going to have garlic now till next spring. So I'm very excited. And my garden looks like a jungle because we've had so much rain. It's been crazy rainy here. Now, what's it doing out in Tucson?
Well, actually, it's been hot and muggy. We've had a little bit of rain on and off, but not enough to make it really do anything of consequence. Just enough to make it humid, which we're not used to. No,
that's not usual for the desert. That's for sure.
It is not.
Gosh.
Everybody's wilting.
We are a wilting bunch, except for my garlic. My garlic isn't, so that's good. So,
do you hang it upside down to dry it?
Yes, that's exactly what you do, and you dry it. It takes a while. Then, like I said, you got garlic for a long, long time, and it's so healthy.
Oh, so, that it is.
We got numbers. We got to talk about. I got to say something first, though, before we go into tomorrow. Today, it just seemed like people were extremely cranky. Was there something going on today?
Well, the funny part is today was actually a day where a lot of people felt overly enthusiastic about what they wanted, which didn't necessarily mean that's what they got. But there was a lot of, there was a luck factor that went with it, and a lot of people that were trying to make things happen. But the month itself is all about family situations, good, bad, the ugly. And by God, I've seen a little of all of it.
Oh, no.
But tomorrow's going to be a real winding because the month, the day, and the year are identical. So we've got a 6-month tomorrow and a 6 universal day as well. So it's too much of a good thing. And it's going to involve alternative medicines, alternative health issues, and people wanting things to be perfect and people wanting to meddle in everybody else's business.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it sounds like the crankiness may kind of continue. It's quite possible that it will.
It's going to be negative conversations that are going to come, and everybody's going to be pointing finger at somebody else.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody, you are forewarned, right from Patricia Kirkman, and you can find PK at patriciakirkman.com if you want your own personal reading. Find out about your name, your birth date, and what it means for you. PK is the one to call. And again, her website is Patricia Kirkman, KIRKMAN.com. All right. So now we know it's coming. And we have a little bit of paranormal news to talk about. It's a little scary.
Yes, it is.
This just came out in mainstream media. There's a bird mystery. And this is down in Florida where our guest is right now. And it's just so bizarre. They can't put their finger on why this has happened, but thousands of birds have disappeared and abandoned their eggs and their nests on an island off Florida's Gulf Coast. Now, that's Seahorse Key off Florida's Gulf Coast. And these are herons, blue herons, and spoonbills and egrets and a few other types of birds. They have evacuated. And the biologists are down there scratching their heads. They do not know why. And they're very concerned because there's going to be a ripple effect with all the other bird species there that return year after year to the same nesting sites. They are clueless as to why this is happening. So I have no idea. I mean, this really took me by surprise when I saw this. And they have said it's no contaminants. It's not anything chemical that they can find. So maybe magnetic.
Now that's a thought.
It just popped into my little brain. Maybe it's a magnetic issue because we do know the Earth's field is changing rapidly and we're getting a lot of input from the sun. There's a lot of things changing. And I know our guest is going to talk to us about some of that as well because he is in the know. We have an incredible guest tonight, Ed Edwards. Are you excited, PK?
Oh, understatement of the year. I keep saying, heal me, because I'm a mess.
And interestingly enough, Ed does not describe himself as a healer. We do because it's easier for us to work with a familiar term. And exactly. I know you and I have known a lot of really terrific healers in our lifetimes with the paranormal. And some of them have come on the show, but there is no one like Ed Edwards. And we were introduced to Ed by our mutual friend, the great medium, George Lugo.
That's right.
And
he sends his best to all tonight.
Yes. And as you and I agree, George is one of the very best mediums in the world. And we love him dearly. And he called up and after he met Ed, and he said, hey, you girls have to have Ed on your show. I just met him. I experienced what he can do. And Ed is the real deal. So
it has to be. It got George to keep quiet. He couldn't believe what he saw, what happened.
That is a miracle, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
Just kidding, George.
Not me, George.
We love you, George. So Ed is going to join us in just a minute. And what we're going to do, Ed has offered to do 2 sessions of experiencing his energy. It's a healing energy. That's what I'm going to call it. And he can quantify it however he would like. But he's going to send this energy out to every single person in our audience. So it is a real gift that he's offering. He's going to do a demonstration so everybody can have a little bit of a taste of what this is. And then at the end of the show, you guys better stay tuned because we are going to then have a longer experience with Ed and what he can do. He's going to work with us with removing pain and all kinds of things. Now, I will say that this is not a substitute for medical care. You know, we've got to go through that and say that, that you still should listen to your doctor and go ahead and take your medications, do whatever you got to do to support your health and follow whatever traditional medical advice you like to follow. That's totally your choice. And this does not take the place of that. But we are so thrilled to have Ed with us tonight. So, Ed, Mr. Ed Edwards, welcome to Supernatural Girls.
Hey, welcome, Patricia and PK. Great to be here.
All right.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Very excited, Ed.
Now,
oh, yes.
I want to also share with everybody that you have been studied by the best of the best also in paranormal. The Rhine Institute has got you under the microscope. The University of Virginia is studying you. And they have been able to measure your energy, your output, right in the laboratory. So this is not some airy-fairy thing. This is measurable. It's being quantified and measured by scientific values. And it's very exciting. So, Ed, tell us a little bit about you before you go right into your demonstration, if you would.
Okay. Well, I'm different from the rest of the people. That's what these scientists that are studying me say. And the only reason I'm different is that I became aware of this energy at a very young age, 3 or 4 years old, because my grandmother did hands-on healing, and she read scripture when she did it, and she did it in my little rural community, way back out in the sticks up in northeast Georgia. And so she did this my whole life of growing up. My grandparents had a photography studio, so my grandfather did photography. I'd be in in the studio working as a kid, and then when people were hurting, sick, or bleeding, or burnt, or stuff, they would come see Grandma, and she'd take them back in the portrait section for about 3 to 5 minutes, and they'd come out smiling every time, no matter what was wrong with them.
Wow.
And I knew things were going on because, like I said, I was playing with this energy at a young age. I could feel it, and I could do things that the other kids in my school could feel, and I just had a blast with it. So, like I say, I grew up with this energy, and finally, back in 1994, Dan Rather was doing a story on Dr. William Levengood, the biophysicist that did the primary studies on me, and he was on 2020 with him, talking about the equipment and his research, and it's fit right in. I'd been looking my whole life for someone that could explain what I'm doing in a scientific way, quantified, as it were, and nobody else around could do anything other than tell me I was playing with the devil.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that or just all kind of things they couldn't explain. So, but I managed to get up to Dr. Levengood's lab. He was real skeptical, and he had equipment called the Charge Density Pulse Recorder. And the first time I got a hold of it, I blew it way off scale, freaked him out. And then
I bet it did. Gosh.
So that started an 8-year study there. And then that hooked me up with other research organizations. Along in 98, I got hooked in with ELFRAD, Extremely Low Frequency Research and Development, done by Charlie Plyler. They were studying the electrical algorithms going through the planet. They were getting anomalous signals, and come to find out, whenever I was doing long-range experiments with Dr. Levengood and some of the others, they were picking up my signals on their equipment.
Oh, my goodness sakes.
So we got hooked up with them, and so we did triple blind experiments and stuff where neither one of them knew when or what I was doing, and then I'd send the information into a third party, and then they'd pull the data, and sure enough, it was showing up on both sites. And that was back in the 90s. And, none of this was for healing of any kind. This was just for electrical activation of their equipment in a non-remote way, or in a remote way, rather, or non-local, as they say. So
right, give them something to measure, and that's really critical when you're dealing with science that is a basic disbeliever in all of these kinds of things. So it's great that you were able to give these types of results to these experiments, and so they had something to kind of hang their hat on before they went forward with you. This is excellent.
Yes, their equipment, I was the first. And finally, I got hooked up with the Ryan Research Center in 2008, and they'd been testing people for 30 years, and had found a couple other people that could give little sparks or this and that. But when I got in their chamber and did what I do, it lit it up big time. So they in fact contacted the University of Virginia Neurology Department, the EEG lab, and told them about me. And last December, I went up there and met their scientist, showed and demonstrated, and then did a couple runs with them in the lab. And they took that information to the internal review board for the university, and then they finally, back in January, approved a 2-year study on me. So
wow, 2 years. Oh, my goodness.
So that just to start, the scientists there seem to think that we'll be getting a 4-year grant here very shortly. They've started 5 peer-reviewed papers about me there.
Incredible. My goodness.
Yeah. Very impressive. That's very impressive. And thank you for sharing all that. We've got a lot more to talk about, but I know you wanted to give all of us a demonstration of what you can do. So do you want to do that right now?
I do. I would like to get you and PK to stand up for me, and y'all can be kind of the feedback for the dead space. I do need about 15 seconds to resonate the energy without talking.
So
and then
we will talk to each other then, PK and I, which is not hard for us to do.
Sure. So y'all just mention what you feel as I start there.
Okay. So PK, are you up on your feet?
I'm standing up.
All right. So here we go, everybody.
Everybody in the audience, please stand up, pull your feet fairly close together, and let your arms hang to your sides, and just totally relax, and then see what happens to you. Now, I don't even want to give power suggestion for the first few first minute or so. So here we go. I'm starting.
Well, I feel it already. I'm feeling tingling.
Yes, that's through the hands going up.
And yes.
Almost feel like a little spinning.
Yes, it's a gravity wave is what it's producing. Mm-hmm. Everybody that's aware that I'm doing this is standing up is opening the door to the quantum universe on their end. Basically, the scientists say I'm resonating my brain in such a way that it's merging and phasing in with the quantum field and the energy around the planet. And then that goes in the quantum universe. Then your conscious energy on your end unlocks the door on your side, and it comes to you direct.
Well,
so I am just
certainly feeling it.
Definitely.
Okay, now I'll do a DC negative that should pull forwards on everybody.
Wow. Yes, I am being pulled forward.
Okay, now I'm going to reverse the polarity and push everybody.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Back we go.
Yeah.
I've been working on a lot of, I guess, Muslims in Egypt, Syria, and Iran over Skype, and they all seem to think I'm Allah. I can light them up, make them tingle and get hot and break out in sweats and knock them all over the place.
Well, good. Bring some peace to those folks, huh? That's what we need. Peace in the Middle East. Gee. Well, this is, I'm still feeling this. So clearly, you're still sending this wave out for us, aren't you?
Correct. Once I stand people up and lock them in, now they'll be locked in the whole show. So everybody in the audience will tingle and kind of get warm through the rest of the show. And then when we do the final episode, I'll crank it way up and people just get toasty. And if they have any pains or aches, even right now, if they got any pains or aches, they're getting tingling, warming up, and going away.
By the end of the show, everybody should feel really damn good, I'll tell you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, this is amazing that you really are connecting with the quantum energy in some level. I mean, I could feel the pull forward. I could feel the pushback. And PK, could you feel that also?
Most definitely. And actually, even just trying to stand still, you almost feel like you're moving around, even though you're standing straight.
Oh, my goodness. This is very intense. Well, again, this is very different. I mean, I've had hands-on healing with other people throughout my life, but this is a very different way of approaching it. Can you tell us a little bit more, Ed, now that we're all tuned in and we're feeling this energy, and we will throughout the rest of the show? Tell us a little more about exactly what it is you're doing. You call it lighting us up. What is that?
The physicists, from their studies of me, like now I'm doing brain mapping studies with the University of Virginia, but I started out and back with Dr. Levingood in the 90s, where they were using the charge density pulse recorder and different sensors to detect and study the electromagnetic fields that are being created and controlled within my brain. My consciousness controls my brain, and I'm able to instruct it to generate simultaneous electromagnetic pulses in the left and right side. And by doing whatever it is I'm doing, I'm bouncing a field of energy from the left and right sphere of my brain, anywhere between about a half a hertz. I can control the speed, so from about a half a hertz up to about 4 hertz. And in that range takes care of any type of healing that I need to do on anybody. But now remember, I'm not a healer. All I'm doing is using this energy to activate the healing mechanisms and fine-tune and increase the efficiency at which they operate in the people's bodies that need the healing. It's they that are doing the healing. All I'm doing is activating their mechanisms and tuning it up so they run at maximum efficiency. And boom, some of them heal almost instantly. I mean, their pains will go away instantly. I'll take people that are crying, and 5 minutes later, they're grinning and laughing.
That's terrific.
That sounds great.
Yes.
And one of my great things, I can't mention where, but it's a children's research place that studies leukemia. I got the chance to go and work with 4 kids with leukemia under strict Dr. control where they're right there on top of everything, watching every little detail. And 3 of the 4 kids' leukemia cell count dropped 80% within 2 days of my first contact.
Word.
That's tremendous.
Fabulous.
Tremendous.
Just fabulous.
Yes, that is really great. Oh, my goodness. Well, again, I like what you're saying, Ed, because it really does put the onus for healing back on all of us. And also that we do have the ability to heal ourselves. I know we have 50 trillion cells in our body, and they're turning over, they're changing all the time, but yet if we're stuck in a chronic illness or stuck with something else that is uncomfortable, it's difficult to feel that you have the power to change it. So it sounds like you're able to connect people back to their own power to change it, to make it better.
Yes, I treat everyone the same way. I do the same thing for everyone across the board, no matter what's wrong with them. I treat them all like they're just totally screwed up and have never activated their healing mechanisms ever. See,
I met my family.
Yeah, well, when people never manually activate like what I'm doing, this stuff resides in your body and goes through your whole life, never turned on. When you don't manually turn it on, it doesn't come on automatically like just the heal the cut does over a few days and minor things. Mm-hmm. When you manually activate your higher brain functions in this manner that I'm kind of teaching or showing and using, it makes you function. You've grown up and got this beat out of you. Your education and religious systems beat this out of everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
My grandmother kept it alive in me. See, they told you that you were not doing anything, that you could not do anything special or so, and that's a lie. You can. Everybody can be doing what I'm doing if they would just wake up.
Well, I want to wake up, and I know, PK, you do too, and I know there's
definitely.
a lot of people in our audience that want to wake up, and that's why they're listening tonight. And you are so right. There's no room in our culture, in our society, for this type of ability. We are taught that we have to turn over the power to heal to so-called medical professionals. And again, I think we have the best emergency doctors and services in the world right here in the United States. But when it comes to ongoing illness, it's a whole other story. And I know we've also talked, Ed, about why these illnesses are occurring today in such great numbers. And you seem to think that it had something to do with poisoning our environment, which we certainly understand, and other things going on. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, we as a culture are poisoning up our whole environment. And, we're destroying it with the atmosphere, with the power companies and all that. And we've destroyed the ozone layer, which is allowing so much more radiation down to ground level, which is causing skin cancers like crazy in people. It's funny, our government here in the United States says very little about it. But if you go on your internet and jump down to Australia, boy, it's all over the place down there about the warnings of the UV, current daily UV reports and everything. But up here in our country, it's like they want you to get out there and get burnt and get cancer so you'll go support the pharmaceuticals or so. We got to get a stop to that. We've got to get more efficient on this.
We do, because I know years ago when I used to sunbathe like crazy, I was a total sun worshiper. The sun was nowhere near the strength that it is today. Now
Correct.
I feel like I can go outside for 5 minutes and I feel like I've been in flash burned. It's just so powerful. Very different than it was when we were growing up. So, yeah, so much has changed, and not necessarily for the better when it comes to our environment. And we're all affected by that. We're all connected to that.
Yes, it's affecting all of us, and including the plant and animal life worldwide. Nobody can escape what's going on. And so now we're just now seeing the effects, and it's getting worse very fast, much faster than the scientists originally predicted.
Yeah, it's terrible. Now, let's ask about pets, dogs, animals. And can you also do the same technique to heal them?
Yes. Correct. I work with the human host, and I get the human host up to tingling and waving back and forth like I am, and with their animal sitting in their lap or in a proximity right there with them. they get effects that way. Otherwise, people bring me animals sometimes, and I work with them in person. But I can work over the phone through the people that own the animals, their caretakers, and have just about as good of effects with them.
Now, for people that want to reach you, Ed, you are available for personal, private sessions. You do groups as well, and you are available to help people with their animals. And people can go to your website, which is ededwards.com, and that's Ed with 2 Ds, so it's EDD, edwards.com. And they can email you right from your site, right?
Yes, have them email me and have a phone number and some good times to call. And the last 4 digits of my phone is 7020. That I would be calling from. And as I can get to them, I'll call them and work with them. It only takes about 5 to 10 minutes maximum. And like I say, all I got to do is have people, I request that they have speakerphone or a headset on their end so they can stand up and be hands-free. I know some people can't stand up. I can still work on them just as good also with whatever position they're in. And I work with them over the phone for 5 to 10 minutes and normally have total effects with them.
That's
fabulous.
Yeah,
fabulous.
It's great. And also, I want to mention
everything from.
You don't charge any money for this. However, you do accept donations, and I encourage anybody who calls Ed and wants to work with him, please donate as much as you can to help promote his work and to allow him to continue that.
Yeah, this is, if I can get the donations coming in right, then I won't have to go do manual work so much and be able to devote more time to this.
Right.
So basically, right now, the donations are paying for all my trips around the country and everything. So it's happening. I'm breaking even, and I'm getting around, and I'm improving. I'm increasing. It's what I'm doing is not known by many people, only by a handful of people, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
so
it sounds like, I think after tonight, you're going to have an explosion of people from our show and everybody who talks to their friends and family about you. But again, I want to encourage people to reach out to you and to schedule a session and to donate as much as you can because, again, that's what keeps the work alive and keeps it moving forward. So it's great to be able to support your work this way. We need to support you with this work this way with donations. So it's a wonderful and generous way that you're working. Ed, so thank you.
I appreciate that's why I saw my grandparents. Grandma always did it by donations only too. She never accepted anything. But, I appreciate I need it myself, but, it's growing and stuff.
Well, it should be, because what you're able to do is quite remarkable. Again, it's measurable. You are working with the prestigious Rhine Institute, the University of Virginia. Clearly, they see something very valuable in what you're doing. And I know I felt it the first time we were on the phone, and you're like, well, let me give you a demonstration. I was blown away by what you're able to do long distance. What we perceive to be long distance. Obviously, your consciousness does not perceive distance, which is amazing. That's remarkable.
Yeah, we do experiments a lot of times when I'm at the Rhine. We'll have other universities and stuff to activate the random number generators all over the world. And when I start doing experiments, I can affect the random number generators at all the universities around the planet that are online at the same instant in time.
Wow.
And they freaking out over that kind of.
I guess so.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
Yeah, and we're all the time. We're doing experiments every week. We do long-range experiments. I do it at long range with them and with the University of Virginia. They've set up the lab now at the university to where I can affect the sensors inside the containment area, inside the shielded area.
Well, we're gonna get back to this, Ed. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we are going to go to break in just a few seconds. But everybody, stay tuned. This is a terrific show. We have got a stellar guest here with us, Ed Edwards. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Be sure to sign up on our website, supernaturalgirls.com, for the Fringe Files newsletter so you can see all of what we're doing next. And oh my gosh, everybody, stay tuned. We will be right back. And also call in if you'd like, 888-919-2355. 888-919-2355. If you have a question for Ed, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're listening to IRN, the Inception Radio Network, Chicago, Illinois.
You didn't forget what's coming up tonight, did you? Hi, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Never miss that interview you were looking forward to or the show on your favorite topic. Follow IRN on Twitter, I_R_N, and get reminders about the evening's live shows as well as fun and important updates throughout the week. That's I_R_N, and never miss a great show again.
Hi, can you hear my voice? Imagine how many other people can hear it too. If you have advertising needs, then look no further. The Inception Radio Network currently has openings for on-air advertisements and radio show sponsorships. Given any thought to your target demographic? Inception has you covered there too. Advertising on a network gives you multiple opportunities to advertise on a wide variety of radio show broadcasts, and we have one to fit every advertising need. You know, in recent years, internet radio has exhibited a phenomenal listener growth. An Arbitron Edison survey shows that online radio boosts at least 33 million unique visitors each week and 54 million each month. And that number amazingly continues to grow. And these listeners are a part of many businesses' core demographics. And surveys have shown that internet radio listeners are far more likely than regular radio listeners to spend money on a whole range of activities. You know, internet listeners vote, they dine out and eat fast food, and they grab a cup of coffee. And here's the interesting one. They buy items online at a much higher rate than all other market segments combined. Internet radio also enables businesses to connect with consumers during work hours, where increasingly more lifestyle decisions are being made. Advertise with the best. The Inception Radio Network offers competitive advertising rates to fit just about anyone's advertising budget. Stop by today at www.inceptionradionetwork.com or call us toll-free at 1-888-919-2355. Get the word out. Get results with the Inception Radio Network.
Are you a fan of Inception Radio Network? Do you reckon it's the best alternative talk radio station on the planet? Well, if you do, head to facebook.com/Inception Radio Network and like the page. Tell your friends, spread the word, and keep listening to the best.
Hello, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Remember, you can take your Inception Radio shows on the go. Just download the Inception Radio Network app for your iPhone, iPad, or Android smartphones and access live shows, past shows, guest lineups, and much more. Just visit the iTunes Store or the Google Play Marketplace and download it today for free.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a terrific show for you tonight on Supernatural Girls Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, PK, and our guest, Ed Edwards. He started off the night by offering a demonstration of his healing ability, and Patricia Kirkman and I certainly felt it, and we're getting feedback on emails and texts from other people that they felt it as well. So this is a very exciting night. It's terrific to have you on, Ed. And I'm hearing our music in the background for some reason, so I know that the energy is probably getting wilder and wilder with you on the air with us, Ed. But we're so pleased to have you here. We're learning so much about what you're capable of doing, and it is extraordinary. George Lugo, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I had a question for Ed. I don't know. Have they ever tried to connect them with the space shuttle? Could they feel that up there? You know what I mean? Could they send what he does up to like the shuttle and somehow measure it?
I've been working trying to get a experiment like that set up. I've got when I pull people and keep pulling them forwards or backwards, I've got this idea that if an astronaut ever broke loose from the shuttle up there, somehow came untethered, that if I could work through another astronaut on board, that I would be able to set up a gravity wave and pull them back to the shuttle. That is something I've been wanting to try, but I'm working with some scientists trying to hook up with NASA to where we can maybe set up something to try this, but I have not formally made that connection with NASA yet. But it is definitely something I want to try.
It seems like that's part of your future. So, yeah, that would be great. That would be wonderful. Well, anyway, that was my question. Go ahead.
Yes, I can physically pull people, living organisms. So I should be able to do it. We did know that I could affect certain things out in space when I was with the FRAD group. They had connections with scientists that were with organizations like NASA and European Space Agency and other things like that. So we did have a little bit of feedback under the table on things I could do back then. So I'm pretty sure I could.
Applications. Yeah, I can see different applications from the Earth direct to the space shuttle that you just can't have on a normal, situation. I think that would be great. Anyway, good luck with that. I just wanted to ask you about that. And I hope you had a good time in Florida when you were here.
I did. I'm back.
Oh, are you?
I'm in Jupiter right this minute.
Oh, in Jupiter. Okay. Well, if you're passing through Picola, just give me a holler,
I will.
Come have lunch with you or something. I'll take you out to lunch or something.
Sounds like a plan, guys. Well, George, thank you so much for your call. We appreciate you coming on the air with us today.
Okay, and thanks for the plug. Talk to you later.
Good night, George.
Good night. Bye.
Doesn't that figure? We work to get our sound right. We bring George on and everything goes haywire. Huh?
Well, it's Murphy at work yet. That's all there is to it.
Now, Ed, I've got a bunch of questions coming in for you. And one of them is this. The government in all these alphabet agencies, I know, are very interested in people like you. Have they reached out to you? I would imagine they'd love to get their hands on you.
I've been reaching out to them since 2003 and have not been able to get an inside connection yet with them.
You're kidding.
I'm surprised.
Dear Lord.
I've called DOD. I even stopped by stopped by one a military training base and tried to give a demonstration, but they got so much red tape and everything and channels you got to go through, they wouldn't listen.
Oh boy.
What a waste. What a waste.
Yeah, well, this was after I knocked all them Muslims down, and they think I'm all over yonder. I think I could curb some of the terrorists.
Oh my goodness! See, you're our secret weapon. They don't even know it yet. But
it's not a weapon. It's just showing them, reality. It's not a weapon. This is what God are created for us.
Well, you're absolutely right. And you've been able to do this. It's such a gift you've received from your grandmother. And as you mentioned in our prior discussion, you had a difficult birth experience. And so your grandmother began working on you immediately when you were born. And so it sounds like a lot of that energy and knowledge was just transferred to you.
Correct. It was. But all it was that she just kept it awake in me. And it didn't get beat out of me like the other kids. All the other kids, seemed like in preschool, I remember a couple of kids able to do a couple of things, but the time we were in the first or second grade, they had stopped.
Yeah, it's such a sad situation. I know, and that it still goes on today. You'd think we would evolve beyond it. We haven't.
See, and by the time I was in the third grade, I'd learned how to make the bullies pee all over themselves if I felt threatened from them. Things like that. And then
paybacks are hell,
I could send the teacher to the bathroom anytime I thought she was going to give a bad test.
Oh, I love it. My goodness.
All kind of neat little things I was doing. As a kid, I was a very mischievous kid playing with energy.
Very great skills to have. Now, how about with emotional healing? I mean, we all know the component to emotional healing is profound. It's one of the things that gets ignored in our culture. What do you experience when you're working with people and you light them up? Does that emotional body come into alignment as well?
It does a lot. I'm working with some doctors in Atlanta now that are being allowed to use me in their clinical studies for their dissertations on their PhDs. One of the studies we're on is working with adolescents and teenagers with anxiety and depression. And all we're doing is, I'm taking about 6 or 8 kids, their parents, their counselors, and the administrators and the big guys watching it all in one room once every 2 or 3 months for these doctors, and I teach these kids how to get in touch with their own energies. All the kids that I've worked with now so far, their anxiety or depression has faded away within about 2 weeks, and the doctors are writing up all kind of big reports on it. And we are in the process of, the doctors are, with me working with them, writing books for first, second, and third graders to read, to learn how to get in touch with their own energies.
Oh, how fabulous.
That is so powerful. I mean, that's really powerful because we have so many people today suffering from mental imbalances of one form and another. And medication can only take things so far. In fact, sometimes medication, it's been reported, has made things worse. So
Correct.
How wonderful to have this ability to light people up, get them realigned, and have them heal themselves, as you have said. That makes so much more sense. Again, I don't know anybody else like you, Ed, that's doing this kind of thing.
I'm the only one, according to all these scientists at these different universities. They said they've checked Reiki and all these other modalities out, but they've never found anybody that could produce and hold a measurable field of energy. I can hold over a million microamps for 15, 20 minutes continuously. And then under command, I can reverse the polarity of it. They'll say, change it. Instantly, I'll flip the polarity of it.
Now, can you
reverse it?
Can you teach this to other people?
I teach it by allowing people to experience it. I talk till I'm blue in the face and they can't get the idea of what's going on, but I can stand them up and knock them around and generate electrical sensations they can feel in their brains, and then they're able to start playing with it and doing things in their hands. And then I teach people a few simple techniques that they must practice rigorously. See, I've played with this energy in my hands and all since I was a young kid, so it's just like walking for me. And the scientists say that because I was playing with the polarity and flipping it back and forth as a child, and I grew up, as my brain developed, it developed differently than the children that were not playing with the energy. So that parts of their brains developed asleep, and that part of my brain developed in awakened mode.
That makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to go back to what you said earlier in our show tonight when you talked about your brain follows your consciousness. That is a key statement as to why this is so different with you. Because with most of us, our brain is giving the orders. With you, your consciousness is giving the orders and your brain is helping to carry it out. That's completely different. That's a very important thing.
Yes, I know that my consciousness is separate from my brain, and then my brain is an operating function of my consciousness. Up at the University of Virginia, they wire me up. They can do this brain mapping study So they wire in 64 wires into my head so they can monitor every quadrant of my brain. And so when I start playing with this energy, a computer tells me to activate it or rest. And I'm focused energy at another bank of sensors that are buried inside a double aluminum containment box, which is self-powered. So a computer is monitoring my brain, all wired up. It tells me to fire energy, and it reads the energy and what my brain's doing and what their sensors pick up in same time, real time. So they can see what I'm transmitting, how it's transmitting, and what sensors I'm affecting. And I can do it long range.
Amazing. Well, and again, if this can be taught or at least absorbed by other people, you could have a team of people that you work with and do this throughout the world. Although it sounds like even as a one-man band, you're doing a great job. Now, I have a question for you from the chat room. Sky33 has written in and says, I wonder if Ed can affect Earth's energy field, or is it the Earth's energy field affecting you?
Yeah, I can affect the Earth's energy field. We did a lot of experiments back in 96 through 99 with FRAD, with Charlie Plyler of the Extremely Low Frequency Research and Development. They had systems that they were studying precursor signals to earthquakes by studying the changes in the electrical algorithms between 2 points. And they had these antenna systems which were coupled into the Earth, scattered all over, like in New Zealand, Australia, Japan, China. There were different people manning these stations. And then we would do experiments where I would send long-range pulse signals, and they would show up in the electrical changes all over the world in real time. And then we did stuff where they would monitor the Earth's magnetosphere, and I would start creating a strong DC negative, which would pull the Earth's magnetosphere kind of in toward the planet, and then I could push it out. And they had equipment that could see this.
Wow.
Under their command. They would tell me when to do it, and I'd do it, and they would see the results almost instantly in their equipment.
That's incredible. Oh, my goodness. I mean, you're quite a powerhouse to be able to do that. And again, I like what you're saying, that everybody can heal themselves. And now we talked about this earlier, too, in our prior conversation about what stops people. And you said it's been beaten out of them, but it's also beliefs.
Beliefs.
People have beliefs that prevent us from doing this.
Those in charge back then wanted to make sure you couldn't do this.
Yeah, what's that about? I mean, what's up with that? Well, they don't want us to be powerful. Where's that coming from?
Those in control.
They don't want to give it up.
Control.
Yeah. They don't want you to know how to be yourselves. You wouldn't need all this medical stuff that you're getting. I believe in doctors. I believe in trauma centers. I believe we need doctors to set broken bones, to set emergencies and trauma and things like that. But like you said, the rest of it needs to be approached differently. The body will heal itself once these systems are activated very fast. You've got systems built into you, designed and built into you through thousands and thousands of years of evolution that nowadays has been taken from you. It's been beat out of you, so you will not use those systems.
That makes perfect sense to me. And I know because I studied with a medicine woman years ago who used to say, you'd be surprised to know how much effort it takes to get sick. Now, we don't think of it that way, but that's how she presented it. And I think she was onto something there. It takes a lot of effort to get sick. We're really made to stay healthy.
Yes. Well, the way I look at it, when you do not activate these systems at all in you, your electrical fields in your body are stagnant, then it allows for disease, sicknesses, and pains to set up, and then they're not being corrected. If you manually activate your systems daily, a couple of times a day, you will stay healthy. You naturally.
When
and
you say
all you got to do is
excuse me,
manually. These systems do not come online automatically. This is not an automatic function. This is something you have to manually activate in yourself a couple of times a day.
How would one go about that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to teach people, to play with their energy, where I have them hold their hands and generate magnetic fields that they feel in their hands and be able to change it where it pushes their hands apart and pulls in. And that's when I let them experience what it is, they can recognize it. In other words, it's like yin and yang. One of them's one way and one's the other way. You don't have to really identify it, positive, negative, yin or yang. You just got to, for yourself, be able to know one feels one way and the other feels the other way. And once you can learn how to mentally change it back and forth, then you can start doing things.
Now, you mentioned when we had the break, we were all chatting privately, and you said something that I found, and I know you did too, PK, totally amazing about people regrowing organs that had been removed. Can you talk to our audience about that and share what you said?
Yes. Once we reactivate these systems in people's bodies, I've had people in the past that's had part of their livers or kidneys or whatever, different organs taken out because of maybe cancer or something. And then I'd work with the people and do different things, and I've had them come back to me 2 or 3 years later and said, well, we went back to the doctor last week, and they just freaking out because they said they took out part of my liver or part of one of my organs, and they said now it's grown back in full healthy state. And this energy has the medical. It has your body has the medical code and all the blueprints all designed and wired into you. But until you activate these systems, it can't work on that. So you kind of deviate from that code. But once you activate this energy, your body goes back to that exact blueprint of what you should be and starts pulling your whole system back into alignment with it.
Fabulous.
Now, what are your thoughts about cancer? Because that's another thing that's rampant today. Some people are linking it to the vaccines that were contaminated with the cancer virus that we probably all got of our age group back in the 50s. But now we're seeing a lot of cases of cancer. Of course, they're treating it with chemo and other things. What are your thoughts on this disease and how you experience it when you treat it?
Well, when I treat it, again, I'm causing the body's natural healing mechanisms to come online. I don't treat any individual sickness, illness, or disease differently. I do everybody the same. I have a way to trip your systems manually from my side of the fence, as it were, to come online. And once your systems start coming online, and then we get you to manually get them online yourself every day, your body starts attacking the cancers or other diseases and stuff.
So
and makes
things
corrections.
Right. So then your body can actually recognize the cancer, because that's, I believe, part of the problem with the disease is your immune system can't recognize it. It has a little covert way of operating in the body. And so you're able to realign and get everything with the immune system and cancer working properly. So this, again, it's very exciting. And I love this so much that we are the ones that do the healing. Yeah. That's great. It's the way it should be. We are responsible for our own healing. And I think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the way it's always been. It's just people didn't realize it that way. They always thought somebody else had to do it for them.
Yeah, and it's not that way. I mean, I know people that run to the doctor for this and run to the doctor for that. And I say to them, what do you think they're going to do for you? They only have two choices, medication and surgery in traditional medicine. So that's what you're going to get. And is that how you think you're going to heal? But again, it's this turning over of our power to other people, to the so-called experts. And as you mentioned, there's been a lot of things gone wrong with either medications or surgery. It can be a dangerous game to play.
Yes. And now, when you go run to the doctor, they don't fix you. They just kind of ease it off so that you'll keep coming back.
That's right.
A few years ago, I gave a big, huge lecture at the Atlanta Center Stage. I was in there with Stanton Friedman, Dr. Stephen Greer, David Wilcox, several other key figures and stuff, and several doctors at different pain clinics and things like that attended the talks. And after my lecture, doctor and all, I got invited to come join forces with 2 different pain clinics in Atlanta, Georgia, and went up there and started working with their worst case clients and started working on all kinds of their different clients in there. Well, these clients had been coming to these organizations every 2 or 3 weeks for their services. But once I started working with these clients, they didn't need their services anymore. And the next thing we know, I got fired because I was cutting at the bottom line.
Yeah.
They let me go once they realized it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody I worked with, I fixed them. I took their pains away or caused them to take their pains away, and then they didn't need to keep coming back for repeat service from these people.
Exactly.
And when they realize that.
Ed, do you think that many times a person becomes ill because they're needing emotional attention versus the fact that they're actually sick?
Well, their energy is emotional, and if it's laying there dead, they're going to become sick and stuff. And as long as their energy's stagnant, nothing's causing it to not happen. So the emotions, you get in there and you light them up real good. I'll make them just grin like crazy, and that tickles their emotions and kicks them in gear.
Sounds fabulous. What a way to go.
That's what needs to happen so that we can all get well, let go of any infirmities that we're dealing with. And it is all part and parcel of the same thing, whether it's an emotional healing, mental, physical, it's all connected. And so no matter what you're lighting up at, it sounds like it's going to hit each and every one of the things that need attention within us.
Well, it hits everything. I'm not focusing on any one thing. Now, I can produce a plasma stream between my hands and put that through a broken bone or any certain areas and fine-tune where I'm aiming the energy and have an amazing pain relief effect that way. And I can stand at the bottom of people, like have them up in a recliner chair or so where I can get to the bottom of their feet, and I always have them leave their shoes on because I'll increase the electric fields in my hands and radiate a field through their shoes that just flips them out. They'll go to tingling. Even something else I've learned how to do is I can have people lay their hands upside down and leave their fingers totally limp, and I can start generating pulse signals, send it through their feet, and I can start wiggling their fingers for them.
Gosh.
I've done that. That's what I learned with working with paraplegics and quadriplegics that I've got to. And when I'm working with them, I can cause complete body sensation while I'm locked in.
Oh, my. That has to be fabulous for them.
So I'm trying to get more research in that field also going.
Yes. I mean, these are all things that need attention. And you talk about people also that are in comas. Are you able to reach them?
Yes, and strokes. If I can get somebody's had it within a couple hours of their stroke, I can about totally reconnect them in about a day.
Oh, my goodness.
I've gotten a hold of stroke patients 2-3 strokes 2 or 3 years ago, and within a couple of weeks start getting verbal sounds and movement of dead limbs and stuff going again for them. But the quicker I can get to it right after the stroke seemed like the better the effects. And one guy in Michigan in intensive care at Ann Arbor, Michigan Institute, they got me to him within 2 days of his stroke, and less than a year later, you can't even tell he had a stroke.
Oh, my goodness.
He was totally right side paralyzed in there. And after I zapped him 20 minutes later, he started kind of moving into bed. And then the next morning, he got up out of bed on his own. And then 3 days later, he walked out of there, out of ICU.
Oh, that had to freak a few people on the floor out in more ways than one.
It does. But the doctors were standing right there when I worked on them. And then when I lit the doctors up, they really looked at me funny. I can break them out hot sweat from across the room.
Some of them need to be lit up.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I just want to announce again to our audience, we are speaking tonight on Supernatural Girls Radio with Ed Edwards, and you can reach Ed from his website, and his name is spelled EDD, so it's a double D, EDD Edwards.com. Ed does private sessions. He also does group work, but you can reach him, and he will take a donation. I want to, again, encourage everybody to be generous in their donations to Ed because he's doing incredibly great work. And also, don't forget to go to our website, supernaturalgirls.com. Sign up for our newsletter, The Fringe Files, so you can be in the know with all the wild and crazy things these girls are doing over here. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to come back. We're going to take a short break. If you want to call in, you can call in with a question for Ed at 888-919-2355. That's 888-919-2355. Stay tuned, everybody. You don't want to miss this last healing. We will be right back.
Listening to IRN, the Inception Radio Network, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Just a reminder that Inception Radio Network is on Twitter. Follow us at I_R_N and keep up to date about who's on tonight, what interviews they'll be doing, who's guest spotting, what topics they'll be covering. Tweet to us, tweet about us, retweet topics to your friends, and most importantly, never miss a great show again. That's I_R_N.
Have a computer? Is your internet connection down? Don't worry. Use your trusty cell phone or landline and call into our listen line at 401-283-6700 to listen to the Inception Radio Network 24/7. Again, that call-in number is 401-283-6700. For the Inception Radio Network, I am MJ.
Hello, Inception Radio Network. Would you like your favorite show to be played again live on air? Well, now the choice is in your hands with IRN's live request portal, an easy way to request your favorite show with a simple click. IRN's live request portal now gives you exclusive access to all the shows. How easy is it? Simply type a show name or a guest name, click request, even write a dedication message, and that's it. Try it now. Simply visit InceptionRadioNetwork.com, click on the live request tab under the show menu. Now playing your favorite show is just a mouse click away.
Are you a fan of Inception Radio Network? Do you reckon it's the best alternative talk radio station on the planet? Well, if you do, head to facebook.com/Inception Radio Network and like the page. Tell your friends, spread the word, and keep listening to the best.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With cosmic fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless. Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion, www.KOSMICfusion.com, to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girls Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host, PK, and our amazing guest, Ed Edwards. Ed, my goodness, I don't want to let you go tonight. We're just having too much fun talking to you. And even during the break, we were talking again, and we were talking about ETs. And based on George's question about your connection with space, I was wondering if you've had any experiences with ETs.
Well, I have something happened when I was about 4 years old in 1962. We were out at this place in the country, a little restaurant, and I was outside playing, and I came up on this, I thought, group of weird-looking kids and all, and they kind of bug-eyed, not bug-eyed, but just different and all. And, I didn't think much of it because if you've ever seen that movie Deliverance, and that little boy that played the dueling banjo sitting on the porch, I went to school with him. They filmed Deliverance in my hometown. So he looked weird in school. So these other kids look kind of like him. So I figured they might be kind of cousins of his or something. But they was all kind of bug-eyed looking, But I was just a young kid. I didn't know anything. We never heard of aliens or ETs or anything. I'm from that little town out in the woods that's all backwoods, So any idea of that's never been heard of. And so I had a weird little experience, and I had these 4 kids kind of playing with energy like I play with now. And that's about all I remember about it. That was when I was, 1962-ish, 4.5 years old and all. Then I've gone back on records and found where there'd been some kind of crazy reported sightings during that time frame, all up and down the East Coast. But that's all. That's the only thing I know about that. But now when I was with Elfred, where I would be sending signals and they would record it on their sensors worldwide, see, they use the Earth as like a giant parabolic dish. When they set the equipment up just right, then they can use the Earth to detect signals that are coming from deep space. So I would set up energy patterns where I would focus out into space, and then approximately 7 minutes later, they would get a signal come back from deep space about 0.2 of a hertz less or higher than the frequency I sent out, the pulses.
Wow.
So we were getting, and the pulses would kind of mirror and then come back at us like that.
So that was definitely
we're not sure what it is, but
yeah, that was communication, no question. Well, we've got some questions here for you. This is from Jim in Marietta, Georgia, and he wants to know if you've ever worked with people who have had a medical ablation, for example, work on a heart.
Yes, I have. Seems like when we put the body's systems back in order and cause you to manually activate and work them, it seems to correct all irregular activity like that. It doesn't always permanently make it change that instant, but if you keep applying the technique to it, it changes it. It makes it mold back into the way it should be.
Okay, well, that answers your question, Jim. Thanks for writing in. Yeah, there's just so much to what you're doing and what you're able to do. What about Alzheimer's? Have you been able to get any success with that?
Alzheimer's and dementia, not much, a little. I'm not sure how your audience will take this or not, but I've been watching a lot of the studies that are finally being done on cannabis and stuff, and they have found that an active ingredient in the cannabis affects and cleans out the brain, which causes Alzheimer's.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a terrible disease, and many people whose family members have been affected by it. And it's nice to know there's something out there that may have a positive effect. I've also heard that fatty oils are very important because in our diet, all this screaming and yelling about cholesterol turned out to be exactly the wrong thing for our brains. So people have been starving themselves on these low-fat diets, but they've actually been starving their brains. So, and I had a personal experience with somebody who was starving their brain. They were on a low-fat diet, and they were, this is what I got to do. I got to lose this weight. And next time I saw them, they could barely remember their own name. I mean, it was that severe with a loss of the fatty acids. So there's a lot to this disease. And again, what we've been sold is a bill of goods on what we should and shouldn't be eating. We really need to evaluate things a little differently, I think, when it comes to our health.
Too much hype. Too much hype on the fad things and not enough on the realistic.
Exactly. I mean, it's common sense.
Well, if it gets
thrown out the window.
Well, they're not using any common sense, or they'd be telling people to get out of the sun and use protection much better than allowing them to just go out there and burn.
Yeah, that's true.
You go to Australia, and they make the children in Australia wear a wristband, and when they get an X amount of radiation, they have to stay in total shade.
See,
Now,
that's really
down there, their government is paying for health care down there. So they want to make sure everybody's healthy and stays out of it so they don't have to pay out the bill. Over here, they want you to get burnt and like that, so you will pay out.
Yeah,
Yep,
this is
they get more money, we don't.
Yeah, this is all mixed up. This whole way of doing things, and again, I could go on and on about it, but I won't. Even our insurance companies reward people, it seems, for being sick. We should get rewarded when we make good health and good lifestyle choices. That's what this should be about. So it's again your ability to change. Actually, to change the energy so that people can feel it and use it is absolutely remarkable. It's measurable. It produces real results. And you're saying you also believe that when people get familiar with it, maybe some people have a natural ability and can learn to do this themselves like you.
Well, I believe everybody can learn to do it. It's just the amount of amperage that they're able to produce. It's measured on amperage. Everybody can do what I'm doing. It just takes an awful lot of practice, or it's like push-ups or lifting weights. The more you do it, the stronger you're going to get at it. So that's all thing with mine, and it's just how much dedication people have to do the techniques required to strengthen it. And once you get your amperage built up, then it's your consciousness takes this amperage and causes different things to happen with it. So you turn your brain into a generator. You're actually a generator producing a measurable energy, and then it feeds back up to your consciousness that gives it purpose, gives it something to do, or aim, or work on your body, or others' bodies, or animals' bodies. No.
Yes.
But
so
you have to start generating energy before you have any energy to work with.
What's a good way for a person to start building up energy?
I have people, like they're standing or sitting, to hold their hands like they were, touch the palms together, fingertips together. Y'all do it right now, too.
Okay.
And then, now pull your hands very slowly, just barely break them apart, pull them out 3 or 4 inches apart, and then change directions and start going back together, like slow motion clapping of the hands, but don't touch. Just kind of back and forth real gently, and you should feel like you're squeezing Jell-O or some kind of field.
Yeah.
Okay, well, right there, the electric fields in each of your hands are causing an ionization of the air between your hands, which is setting up a magnetic field. And as you go back and forth, your brain is starting to recognize and start to generate more and more amperage there. And then that causes you to produce this measurable energy. And the more you practice doing this with your hands right there, your natural systems will get stronger and stronger and stronger. So I just sit around, play with it, and then I'll be sitting in restaurants playing with it, and I'll aim the energy over at people across the room, see if I can get them to do something funny or fart or something like that. You know?
You're still mischievous.
Yeah, I am. And I'll be that way till the day I die.
Good for you. Good for you. Now, what about, I have to bring up Kundalini because I'm sitting here since you did this treatment on us. I'm burning up here. So I know the energy is active, but what's your thought or your experience of Kundalini energy? Because that is an electrical system in the body, right?
Yes, it is. I can tune it up, make it function at maximum efficiency, and just cause all kind of great experiences with it. Super sensitizes everything. And then has, yes. Here, I can do this right here, and you should be able to feel it.
I'm feeling it. I'll tell you, Ed, keep it up. I'm loving it because, again, I am in a room that is extremely chilly.
Yeah.
And
you should be sweating early.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
And that's because of this energy that you're sending.
Correct.
Gosh.
Yeah. I can warm everybody up, except those that get burnt bad, and if they'll tell me, I can make them feel like they're standing in the middle of an iceberg.
Wow.
I get burn victims all the time, and I'll just take the energy and flip it backwards and like shove them inside an iceberg, and then in about a half a minute, they got, oh my God, I'm freezing, and their burns go away.
Goodness.
Their burns go completely away.
Wow, and burns are one of the worst injuries I think ever. That's amazing.
Yeah, I talked fire out of people today, a couple of them.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Now, I have another question from the chat room, and then we're going to go into our next demonstration with you. This question is this. They want to know, has Ed had success, have you, Ed, had success in working with those burdened with panic disorder?
A little bit.
He says, also known as the Catholic disease.
Only when I was a kid.
Well, if I get people in touch with their own energy, then they can sit there and manipulate other energies that's around them, and that may take off that panic type effect. When you can be in control of your surroundings.
So that's what makes the difference, so that the energy can affect this and, again, resettle this.
But you've got to be in control of it.
I see. So, okay, I get what you're saying. All right, well, that answers that question. All right, so how about your next demonstration? And we're going to need about 5 minutes for this, and I wanted to leave time for any other questions or comments towards the end of the show. So does this feel like a good time, Ed, to do your next demonstration with all of us in the audience?
It does, and they'll notice this time when they stand up, the gravity waves will be stronger.
All right, so everybody needs to stand up again.
That can.
If you can, stand up.
And if you can't, just, lean forwards and not lean back against the thing, and you should feel the push and pull and or tingling sensations and warming up like you are. You're sitting down there, I'd say, and you're warming up.
That's right.
So here we go. I'm cranking the juice up right now.
And we can feel it. PK, where are you? Are you getting hot?
Yes, I am. Definitely so.
So we're on fire over here.
Yeah, this will warm you up.
How it goes right up your hands like it's moving up your arms.
Yeah, and I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm pulling and pushing you back and forth. I'm just wobbling everybody.
Yeah, we're wobbling.
And this is just kind of like slapping your systems online. I'm projecting energy that's entering your electric systems of your bodies, and it's changing directions back and forth. So it's just like blowing the soot out of your wiring system. And then you heal yourself. Your brain starts able to communicate with your whole body, with the mitochondria in every cell, with every organ, and it knows what everything's working like. When people are all messed up, their systems are shut down. There's no communications going on to the brain. So it doesn't know to fix anything. But when you activate and work with this energy like I'm doing right now, I'm just rocking you back and forth and changing the pulse rate in it, and it's manually causing your systems to come online. Now, let your hands hang, let's see here, turn your palms upward in front of you, let your fingers be totally limp while I'm doing this. And here come the pulses. Let me see if I can wiggle some fingers.
Wow. Well, I'm waving to myself, not intentionally. How about you, Patricia?
Yeah.
Workman?
My little fingers are moving.
Yeah.
I'm doing like a backwards wave here.
And it'll wiggle fingers sideways sometimes. Instead of where they regularly move, it'll make them wiggle sideways funnily.
That's funny. That's what they're doing. My little ones are doing that.
Yeah. All mine are.
And I'll send an audience of 200 or 300 people up sometimes, and I'll make everybody in the audience wiggle their fingers or walk them around. It's connected to everybody. And then by now, after this session here, everybody should be getting warm and tingly. It's got any type of arthritis, bursitis, rheumatoid arthritis, hip or knee replacements, any kind of pain. I've been able to affect, not totally get it out of everybody, but most people I get it totally out of. And everybody else, I turn it way down, and it's just a matter of getting their electric systems online, and then the body clears it.
So we are coming online, PK, and everybody in our audience. I know I'm getting texts right now from people who are also texting that they are feeling this. They are having a wonderful experience with this.
Tell everybody to go to my webpage, and if you're in pain, I'll do private sessions. Send me an email with a phone number and sometimes to call you. Or if you're in another country, send me a Skype address. I can't call outside of the country right now. But if you'll give me your Skype or I do a Pal Talk chat room, PALTALK chat room. You can find all those ways on my web page at edwards.com. You'll find out how to get in touch with me. And I do groups, and if people put groups together in different parts of the country, I will drive to them and do show or sessions.
Oh, that's just marvelous. What a gift you are to everyone.
Yes, you are, Ed. And this is, I know people are still feeling the energy. You're still transmitting it, right?
Correct.
So everybody just...
I'll do it too. I'll do it through the end of the show.
Oh, boy. This is an even bigger gift than we expected. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. This is wonderful. I feel terrific. How about you, Miss PK? What are you feeling over there in Tucson?
It's a very strange feeling. It's almost a little euphoric, and at the same point in time, a little apprehensive because it's doing what he says it's going to do.
And, you know, I'm glad you used that word, euphoric, because that's a perfect word to use. I feel the same way. There's this joy, this happiness that's welling up, that's from inside. It feels great.
You're connecting with creation. You're connecting with the true source energy. I'm allowing through this work, you're connecting in with nature and in your understanding of how God or any of the other works. You're connecting with that.
Well, we are cooking with gas tonight. I'm telling you, this is tremendous. I can feel things moving, changing. And like you talk about the lighting up, but I'm also feeling this, Ed. I'm feeling things kind of clicking in. Does that make sense?
Correct. It does. Things come online and start working the way they should be working instead of kind of out of balance.
So it's almost like clicking into the right machinery or the right program or the right something, but it's a very powerful experience and very comfortable. It is not uncomfortable. It's comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it also, we find it increases the circulation in people's bodies like crazy. And if you have difficulty in breathing, like I say, I've knocked COPD out of a bunch of people now so far. And asthma and other problems like that. I can just send a signal through their lungs and it just about clear it.
That's tremendous, especially because there really is no cure for COPD or pulmonary fibrosis or any of those lung diseases. And the medications have a huge, long list of side effects. So to be able to get rid of that is incredible. And anybody who gets to work with you is truly lucky. I'll tell you that. It's amazing. And especially if you do have a chronic disease, people, because the way it goes for chronic disease is you become one of the best customers of the drug companies. Oh. There aren't cures for those chronic diseases. And that's why so many people have turned to alternative methods, to diet and things like that. And also, Ed, let's bring that up too, because as much as they can tune in with their own energy after a session with you, diet's also important. I mean, if you go back to eating crap food and things that are not good for you, then what happens?
Exactly. If you're going to eat bad, you go bad.
Okay, there goes the candy bar.
Yeah, no candy bars. They get thrown out. Yeah, that's true. I mean, no matter what, you still have to be vigilant and make smart choices about what you're eating.
Mm-hmm. If you make smart choices and play with energy, you'll live a long, healthy, pain-free diet.
That's good.
Life. Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's I would hope what we all want is that pain-free life and pain-free on every level, which again, this energy can affect. Now, can you share with us also maybe some of your most memorable moments when you've worked with people with this energy, different things that have changed for them?
Just some serious cancer people have gotten much better, and I've worked with a lot of hospice people. Seems like I've got a 3 out of 5 success rate with hospice people, putting them back out on the road going. And I pull people out of these strokes. That just really freaks people out. I've had doctors fall completely over chairs and stuff when the stroke patient come to. You know, I mean, the doctors will freak out so bad they'll hurt themselves when there's something that ain't supposed to happen happens.
It serves them right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had one doctor ask me, a nurse is standing there, what I was doing to him one day, and I just let go of the patient, turned, and focused at them, and the doctor and nurses felt like they was going to catch on fire. I said, "That's what I'm doing." That shut them up.
Oh my goodness!
There's across the room.
This is a real consciousness raising for people like
is.
that. Yes, it's about time.
And the neat thing is, I can work on hundreds or thousands with different problems all at the same time.
Now that's interesting too. So you can just hit everybody, light them all up, and no matter what their problem is, they're going to have a good effect.
Do they have to concentrate on what their problem is, or do you?
No.
Great.
Just focus on me, listen to me, and let my energy flow through you for a minute or two or three, however long we're doing it for, and it kind of kicks your systems in gear, starts your systems functioning, and then I just kind of step out of the picture, and you keep it going.
Now, you mentioned that Alzheimer's is a little tricky to work with. Is there anything else that you found that was more challenging?
Well, just things like Alzheimer's and dementia. That's been about the only two that I seem to have the least amount of effect with. Now, I have been having great success, if you know people with kids with autism.
Oh, okay.
A great effect with that. I'm having really good effects on people with or kids and stuff with autism. I'm just having, and then like I say, any kind of pain. This energy goes to the root of the problem and causes it to correct in 99% of the people I do it to.
That's tremendous. And autism is basically in epidemic proportions right now in this country, and I'm sure in others as well. So it's very exciting to hear that you have a way of working with these children and some young adults, I'm sure, that have autism, and you can light them up and they get to work with their own energy too.
Correct.
Yeah, I know a lot of parents will be very happy to hear that who have autistic children today. And again, so much controversy around what causes this, but as you mentioned, it doesn't really matter. Once you're lit up and once you're in touch with your own energy and the energy is working for you, then it heals itself. These conditions heal themselves.
Yes, exactly. I mean, all the conditions are just an imbalance of energy in your body. And once you get your energy systems back balanced, then your operating system takes care of all the problems within you.
So you're really working at a quantum level, and I keep seeing this photon light around you, like shooting out like torpedoes. Is that how you experience it?
That's what the lab at the Ryan Research Center says. When I play with the energy, it increases the photon count in the ultraviolet radiation in the chamber by up to 1 million or more times when I'm firing.
That's why I see that around you then. Yeah, I mean, you are really an expert at working with that energy and gifting all of us with the experience of it for ourselves. And again, I can't thank you enough, Ed. This is the coolest show, PK, isn't it?
Absolutely. I couldn't think of anything that would be more profitable as far as what a person needs to learn about helping themselves.
Yes.
By calling Ed.
Yes. And so again, for all of our audience, the way to reach Ed is through his website, and his name is spelled with 2 Ds, EDD. So it's EDD, Edwards.com. You can make an appointment with him via the phone, via Skype, via PalTalk. There's lots of ways to get in touch with Ed. And as we mentioned, there's a full medical disclaimer on Ed's website. This does not take the place of going to your doctor or taking your medication or anything like that. But if you want to have an experience, a private experience, personal experience with Ed, then that is how to reach him. And again, he doesn't charge for this, folks. But I encourage you, and I know, PK, you do too, we encourage everybody to be generous with Ed so that he can comfortably continue this work. This is really, I don't even have the words for the work that you're doing, Ed. It's more than God's work.
It's a gift that can keep on giving because they'll get well instead of somebody else profiting by someone else's illness.
That's right.
Correct. And once they learn it and start doing it, they can pass it on.
That's right. And so I'm sorry to say, everybody, we are just about out of time with our wonderful guest, Ed Edwards. And PK, this has been a night I will always remember, and I know our audience will too. Get in touch with Ed, you guys, if you need his help, and pass the word. Please share the show with anybody you know who needs this kind of healing and help. And, oh, gosh, I hate to end it, but we're going to have to. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Ed Edwards, thank you for being such a terrific guest and for doing what you're doing in the world today. And good night, everybody. We will see you on the Blue Highway.
Good night.
Good night.